Guys, just like promised in my previous video, we're gonna talk about how the sanded bag looks like. So we started sanding the bag in our previous video, which we made yesterday, and this is how it looks like when it's all prepped for the painting job. So this is the color, and we polished the brass as well. So you can actually read Louis Vuitton now. And that's actually the same bag that we showed yesterday. Can you please show the date code again? Yep. Made in 1995 in France. So this is the same bag. So now it's all prepped for painting. And we just wanted to cover in this video a little bit what you need in order to actually start the next step, which is the painting job. So for the uneven surfaces, a lot of times in old almas you would have some scuffing on corners. We don't buy bags that have holes. We try to get the bags which are just old and have stained leather. But in this particular case, it was a little bit scuffed more than usual, so we applied this product, which is a liquid leather. The color that I got, it's white, so it really doesn't matter because you're painting the bag, so it doesn't matter what color you're getting. I do have other liquid leathers available, just in case I need to do a bigger job, because I do different jobs on bags. But in this particular case, it's just, for uneven surfaces, just some imperfections, but definitely it's not a sealer, it's not a glue. It won't be able to, like cover the holes, just little imperfections. I apply them usually to the corners of the bag. And it's made in Germany, and it costs about $20 on eBay. But it lasts a long time, quite honestly. I probably got it about 6 months ago, and it's still half full. So you only need a little bit. Also, the products that we're using, I'm using one paint color. I don't mix colors. I prefer to keep it solid and as it appears on the bottle, because I don't want some unexpected results unless, it's a custom order and that's what the client wants. I don't have a problem doing that. But usually for jobs like for the general public, when I'm just posting it in my boutique or on the platforms that I'm selling on, I'm just using the solid color. I prefer the brand Angelus, and it works just fine. And I also prefer to buy directly from Angelus Direct, because I bought once from Amazon, and the paint was kind of on the dry side. It was not, I know we can add a thinner to the paint, I understand that, I have that as well, but I kind of felt like it was an older paint, because usually it's not thick, and you are able to control how much paint you're applying to the leather surface. So I would rather prefer to shop at Angelus Direct store online and get the supplies there. But they are a little bit more expensive than on Amazon, because you would pay for shipping unless you get like a promotion or a certain amount that you're spending. And another thing that I'm buying from Angelus is acrylic finisher. I prefer high gloss, but there are different finishes that you can use, because you're sanding the bag, and the leather gets absorbed into, and I'm sorry, the paint gets absorbed into the leather, so it won't be very shiny. So it would look like this bags, just enough of gloss, but it's not glossy. Please pay attention when you're shopping for a painted bag. If the bag looks very, very glossy, like, well, those parts that were painted, that means the paint will peel off. So the bag shouldn't be glossy. Just be careful. It should look like this. Just enough gloss. that you can tell that, you know, it's a glossy finish. All right, and so this bag is ready for the paint job. And we usually start from handles. And before you start, please shake the paint really well. And also, you know, anything that you're using, like for example the acrylic finisher, also make sure, you know, you shake it well before applying. But we don't need acrylic finisher for now. This is the last step. So we will only show you just a sample of work, because this will take hours. You know, you need to apply at least 3 coats, and you need to let every coat dry very thoroughly. So in this particular case, we're just really trying to show you what you need to do in order to get this result. The bag that looks the way you want it to look, the color you like, and it will last you a long time. So we would show you how to start painting the handles, and you should have 3 paint brushes. You should have a large one, medium one, and a small one for little areas. Usually the large one that you need, you would apply to the bottom of the bag, and the smaller brushes you would use on the handles. So make sure you wipe them off and keep, you know, the water next to you, because the paint dries really fast, and you really want, after you dry, you know, you kind of like finished one layer and you want to let it dry, just make sure you close your paint, and you make sure you put your brushes in the water, so this way you can just wipe them off and continue painting another layer. So make sure you don't take a lot of paint. And you want to start painting the details first. So the leather will be absorbing paint really fast, and the color that you're seeing right now, in half an hour it will disappear, and it will almost look like you didn't even paint that part. That's how fast it gets absorbed. And the reason why you don't want to take too much paint, because you really want it to get absorbed immediately instead of dripping under the trim and damaging the monogram. You don't want to do that, and make sure you tape the bag really well first, just like we showed you in a previous video. Just, you know, take your time, and usually the first couple of times are the toughest ones. You know, you really want to dedicate at least a couple days for this job, if not more, just to get it right. And it's always good, if you get some paint on the hardware, just wipe it off immediately. You can do it later by using deglazer on a Q-tip, for example. But it's preferable to clean up after yourself as you go, because you can just, you know, touch the painted area and the deglazer will, you know, damage the paint immediately. So you don't want to do that, because after that you will have to sand it again and repaint it so the surface looks even. You really want to be careful. So while he's painting, I'm just gonna show you a closer look. The bag that's already painted. So that's what it should look like. This bag has exactly 3 layers of paint. All the small details are painted as well. Looks beautiful. It's sanded to perfection. You see, the monogram is very, very clean. The most important goal that we're trying to achieve, we want the bag to look natural. We don't want it to look like it was painted or the paint job was done not thoroughly. Really want to make sure, you know, you can just grab your bag and enjoy it and carry it with you as you wish. Okay, so this is hot pink color. This color is mauve. This is a younger bag as well, which I really like. This fact. And this one is lilac. So you can actually tell how vibrant the colors are. They come out very, very, very nicely. Okay, so what do we have here? You will have a lot of bare spots, and the reason why you cannot really apply paint to a larger area, like for example, it feels like you take a lot of paint and it should last you a little longer, but it won't, because the leather was prepared properly and it's absorbing paint immediately, so it wouldn't let you really, you know, use the paint for a long time. So brush strokes would be very, very short. Okay, beautiful. So just take your time. Make sure you go in every angle, I guess, of the leather. You really want to make sure you cover everything. So pretty much that's what it's gonna look like after the first layer. It looks very pale and nothing like, let me see, petal pink would look like. Well, yes, it reminds petal pink, but it has bare spots. It didn't really cover the stitching. But trust me, after the third layer, it will look beautifully. And just try to be careful with the brush strokes and try to kind of go back and see if you left any mess on the hardware or even the monogram. Just, you know, clean up after yourself as you go, instead of using the deglazer later on. You can start picking up a little more paint when you get to the handles, because once you get to larger areas, it's okay if you get more paint. It's even okay if you get a bigger brush. So now we painting with the medium size. Just like that. So yeah, it won't cover a lot of surface immediately, so you would have to keep getting more paint on a brush, which is only normal because that means your leather has been prepared thoroughly. Okay, so this is how the first layer looks like. And also make sure that you're holding the handle while you're doing it. Sometimes, you know, you have an urge just to switch the side of the handle. Just make sure it doesn't touch this part, because it, even though like even I'm touching it right now, it's dry, but you don't want them to touch together while they're drying, because it can take some pieces of paint off. That's how it looks like. So this is a very tedious job and it takes hours to be completed. We will get back to you in the next video to continue painting this bag and sealing it with the high gloss acrylic. So until next time, thank you so much for watching.